guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So you're probably wondering, how do you take care of a tattoo? It's pretty easy if you think about it. I know every shop can be a little different. What we recommend is, at least for the first 3 to 4 days or so, you're going to want to treat it like it's an open wound. So with that, try to keep it clean, make sure it's moisturized but not overly moisturized. For more in detail, keeping it clean, you want to clean it 2 to 3 times a day regularly with antibacterial soap. We recommend Dial Gold, but whatever works best for you is fine as long as it's antibacterial. After you're done cleaning it, you're either going to want to let it air dry or pat dry with a clean paper towel. Do not use the towel that you shower with. Sure, you think it's clean, but actually towels do end up holding a lot of bacteria, especially if you don't wash them regularly. So as soon as you dry your tattoo, what you want to do is apply a super thin amount of Aquaphor, nothing too smothering. So I like to say less is more. So whenever you think it's a little bit, as soon as you're done, what you're going to want to do is get another paper towel and pat some Aquaphor off, because most times it's actually still too much. And in that instance, you want to make sure that with your tattoo, it never dries out. So keep it moisturized with the Aquaphor, not smothering it whatsoever. When you do smother a tattoo, what it means is you're putting too much ointment and you're not allowing your tattoo enough room to breathe. So you don't want to smother your tattoo, because what'll happen is it'll get pimple-like bumps, could also start to get a lot more inflamed and irritated. If that happens, most times it just needs to be cleaned, and you want to spray it with some Bactine. That way it's not going to get infected. But as long as you dab off some of your Aquaphor after applying it, you should be in the clear. And normally within the first 3 to 4 days or so, you want to avoid any swimming, saunas, baths, anything that your tattoo is going to get smothered underwater. Because it is an open wound, there is possibility for it to get infection by going swimming or by going in pools. And within those days as well, you do want to keep in mind, try to avoid heavy exercising, hiking, things that's going to make you sweat excessively. Only because if you sweat excessively, you should be cleaning your tattoo right after. So if you're in a place where you're not able to clean your tattoo, it's kind of just best to avoid it in all. But if you can't help it because you're in the military or you have a very strenuous job, we recommend cleaning it the minute that you can, whether that's on a lunch break or whatever the case may be. Clean it right away with your antibacterial soap. And then after a couple days, it'll start to get itchy and like really uncontrollably itchy, because when you get tattoos, it's the worst part of the healing process. But when it is itchy, what you want to do is continue to clean it with your antibacterial soap. But instead of applying Aquaphor, when you're done pat drying it, what you're going to apply is any unscented lotion for at least about a week or so, until it's completely peeled and completely healed. So when you no longer see shiny skin on your tattoo, that means it's completely healed. Or if there's a couple spots that are still shiny, it's still healing. In that instance, continue to apply lotion. And majority of the times, when you feel like your tattoo looks dull or is not as bright as it used to be, just applying some lotion revamps it. But in most instances, once it is completely healed, our shop offers free touch-ups. So if you feel like maybe one part was patchy in the coloring or one line is super faint, give us a call. We're more than happy to schedule you a touch-up appointment. So this little guy here is our second option for your aftercare. It's called a second skin, Saniderm, Recovery Derm, whatever you may have heard it's called or called it. It's pretty much a lot better than just going with the Aquaphor, in my opinion personally. So with this wrap, you can leave it on for your whole tattoo healing process. At a minimum, we recommend at least 2 to 3 days when it's still fresh and considered an open wound. The way this wrap works is it's water resistant, not waterproof, so you're good to leave it on while you shower. However, still no swimming, submerging it, all of that stuff. Tomorrow morning, you would wake up and in that wrap, it would have what people call an ink sac. That's totally normal. What it is it's just all the plasma and the blood and the ink coming out of you, which is normal with tattoos as well. How the wrap works is it kind of just takes that, reabsorbs it just to keep itself moisturized. So Do keep an eye out, however, in case you get an allergic reaction. At most times, what that looks like is red, itchy bumpiness just around the edges. And if that does happen, we recommend taking it off in the shower under warm water. Make sure that you pull away from yourself. Also, if at any point you feel like your ink sac is leaking out of its wrap, or things are getting stuck under your wrap from the outside, then it's not doing its job of protecting your tattoo. And in that instance, you also want to take it off in the shower under warm water. For me personally, I feel like if I can leave this on for at least the night and then change it the following morning, because most times than not, a lot of the pieces I get have a lot of ink sacs, and sometimes throughout the day if I'm wearing it, it kind of just pops and then gets everywhere. So to avoid that, you can go ahead, take it off, and then apply a completely new one, which I can show you how to do right here. So whichever area you want, say we're doing my forearm for instance, you take this little guy, the part with the X's, that's going to be your outside layer, and the white part is going to be your inside. So go ahead and start by taking off your white backing, like so. And then obviously you want to make sure your tattoo is clean, has just a tiny bit of ointment on top. Take some alcohol around your tattoo, that way your wrap can stick on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it, stick it on here. Make sure it's tight on the sides. And then what you'll do is there are some orange lines that you're going to follow. That's going to be your top layer takeoff. So you pull the skin apart to loosen those, and then you will rip away from yourself like so, thus leaving you with a nice clear wrap like this. And this one, if it's done after you take off the first one, for sure you can leave on for at least 4 to 5 days, or pretty much the whole tattoo healing process. It's also great to leave on because honestly, in my opinion, I like being able to kind of scratch or lightly just scratch at my tattoo without actually scratching it. And then when you do take it off, like I said, in the shower under warm water, pull away from yourself. Don't just rip it off like a band-aid. Please try to do it in the shower, because what will happen is it'll help break down the wrap and become more malleable and easier to take off. And then whenever you do take off your wrap, make sure you clean it with antibacterial soap, give it a pat dry, and depending on what stage your tattoo is in, either follow up with the Aquaphor if it's within 3 to 4 days, or follow up with the unscented lotion. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to message us, email us, call us, but hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.